Hello, hello, friends. I have an announcement to make because if you've been following the podcast or the YouTube channel, whichever you're listening or watching, you've heard every episode. Welcome to another episode of Trendy with Kim Allison. And yes, that is the name I chose in the beginning, but we are always shifting, thriving, trying to do better for this show, and we came up with a name that makes more sense for compilation wise if we look over the last 2 years of what the podcast has actually become. And really, it's me talking about my expertise working behind the chair for 30 years and also what I'm going through as am I still in the middle? I just turned 59 like 2 days ago. I don't think I'm in the middle. Oh my God. But me sharing just my hair health journey with you guys and getting your feedback as well, because we are all in this together. Hairdressers, clients, all of us, we're just regular, everyday walking people. We are all in this together. So, because I'm a rambler, I'm just going to spit it out and tell you guys what the new name is. It is Kim's Chair. And that makes so much more sense because whether it's the chair I use at the salon while I'm working doing hair or the chair I'm sitting in right now podcasting to you guys, that is the name that we chose and I'm happy with it. So I hope you adopt it the way we have and that you just remember Kim's Chair, okay? That's what it will be moving forward, and we'll change it on all the socials and all the places where you previously saw Trendy with Kim Allison. Trendy with Kim Allison, it was real, it was amazing. Um, but I'm going to take what you gave me to catapult me to where I am now and give you bode farewell. Okay, so today's episode, you guys, on Kim's Chair, we're gonna continue our journey on menopause hair. I am going through it. My clients are going through it. If you're watching and you're going through it, welcome to the party. This is not the funnest party you've ever been to. I promise you that. If you are in perimenopause, maybe you're in your mid 40s, sometimes it happens earlier, and you're going, wait a minute, something is changing. You can't put your finger on it. Well, you know what? Crazy as it sounds, you know what? Before I go rambling down that direction, let me back up just 1 second because I want to make sure this hits home. Okay, so let me start this off the right way. When this happened to me, I mean, it completely caught me off guard. I and it's tricky, right? Because it does and it doesn't. So if you're on the other side at like 59, like around that age where I am, where you're either in it and almost done, or you're just now starting to experience some of this. If you dial back, go back to the very first time you're like, God damn, my hair feels dry. Why is my hair dry? Or when you had your normal routines that you used and your hair was always thriving, no matter what you did, it was unbreakable almost because you ate right, you shampooed and conditioned, or you saw a professional on a regular basis, or you took every vitamin and you're like, yes, all this, it's working, before you realize that it's not what I'm doing externally and even what I'm doing internally. It's what my body is doing. My body is changing, my hormones are changing, and my body is going into a new season, like a shift. And it starts long before it becomes a problem. So when you think, oh my God, this just happened overnight, it kind of doesn't happen overnight. It started happening, you guys, probably when you were in your late 30s or early 40s, the first time you realize that your hair was dry, but then it kind of snapped back, right? Until it actually all the way didn't. All right. So that's where I want to start. And I did write some notes here, you guys, because I will go way off the rails. So to keep me on track, I wrote down some notes, and I want to just share with you guys the moment that I noticed something was wrong. Okay. Because I always had very short hair that I thought was thin, but it wasn't. I mean, it was thinner than other people, but compared to what it is now, it definitely was not thin. And I will say today I am wearing a headband wig. I am going to talk a little bit about headband wigs and why I wear them, how I wear them, but more so verbally, because this show isn't a how to. It's not an educational, um, practical type of podcast. This is more informational. I deliver you the information, I deliver you the resources so that you can go and subscribe to somebody who talks about headband wigs so you can learn more about headband wigs. So I'm not here to do that, but I am going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it, and kind of give you a little insight on how it all works. So that's the place. If you are cool with that, then let's continue. All right. So when I first realized that this happened to me was probably because I remember my one of my besties, she was graduated, she was getting her MBA, and I think that was, hi Michelle. I think that was 2013, which if it is 2026 today, what would that be? Like 13 years ago. So if I am 59 minus 13, that would have put me somewhere around 46. So at 46 is when something just was not right. Like my hair was stiff, it didn't respond. And then you start to gaslight yourself almost. Well, you're not even gaslighting yourself because you really do think it while it's happening that there's something you did. It's something, oh, maybe it was that keratin treatment I put on that destroyed my hair. Or maybe it was a relaxer. Maybe it was the braids I got. Oh, it's the weave. Oh, no, it's because I went swimming. Oh, no, it's because I laid out in the sun. No, none of that, you guys, is true. It's not true. It's not your imagination. Your hair really is changing, and it's all happening from inside unbeknownst to you until it becomes a huge problem, right? So that's when I noticed, and I kept having to wear headbands. I didn't have a choice. I had a really short haircut. I used to have the fullest, just thrivey, shiny bang, almost to the point where I thought, do I need to thin this out? You know how it can give helmet a little bit? And I remember that going, what the hell happened to my hair? It's like the life is leaving. But it wasn't problematic just yet because I still had the density of my hair. It just wasn't performing quite the way it used to. So, as we get into, as I know now, boy, if I knew then what I know now, right? But I didn't, because nobody warns us about this shit, you guys. They tell us, oh, you're going to get hot flashes. That's really all they tell you. It's so much more than that. I mean, hot flashes, dryness literally everywhere. Okay. Like if sometimes people, you had, oh, oh, my skin is so oily. I hate all this oil. And you get those little rice paper things and you're blotting. And you take for granted that oil is what lubricated your skin. When that shit goes dry, it's like, oh my God. And you start seeing your face crack. I mean, that's a real thing. And then in the bedroom, honey, you don't want that to crack. It's wild. I'm telling you, these menopause streets are unhinged. Okay. So, all of that said, everything is dry, including your hair. And so, again, you ain't imagining it. So when this superstar that we all have as women, estrogen, Estrogen is your bestie. It's the bestie you did not know you had. You really didn't. You took her for granted. I'm telling you. Give her a hand. If she still lives inside of your body naturally without supplements, without HRT, without any of that, whoo, I mean, do not take that for granted. I promise you, you don't want to take her for granted. Celebrate her. So when she leaves, she takes everything with her, girl. She takes everything with her. She takes your skin, she takes your hair, she take all your shit. All right. So estrogen, without estrogen, we no longer are producing oils the way we used to. So your scalp isn't getting lubricated, your follicles like they used to, which is why your hair is dull, which is why your hair is brittle, which is why your hair is dry AF. All right. Ugh, God. It's so bad, you guys. And this is all my research. So I'm processing everything as I jumped on the mic to talk to you guys. And I'm supposed to keep this episode short, but for me, that is freaking impossible. But I digress. Here we go. Um, with that said, your follicles, I've learned, not only do you shrink, you like your height. Okay. If you were 5'7" and now you feel like you're around 5'6", well, that ain't your imagination. So guess what? If you were 5'1" and you're now 5 feet, good gracious, I am shrinking, but I didn't know the follicles actually shrink as well. And so it's called miniaturization. Okay. I hope I pronounced that correctly because I don't know how to pronounce words at all. But anyway, so they shrink, so it's harder for your hair to truly thrive and grow at the degree that it grew before. So it's not going to grow as long. It actually changes the structure of the hair, so the texture is gonna change. On top of that, it kicks you into the anagen phase, rather the anagen phase is shorter as well. So if your anagen phase, which is that first phase of where your hair is at its growing phase, if it was 2 years where it could just grow endlessly up to 2 years, then now it's gonna be 1 year or 6 months or whatever it kicked you into. We are all so different, which is why when you go to your dermatologist, running to your dermatologist like, "Oh my god, my hair, da, da, da," and they all give us the same damn thing. Well, we're not all created equal. Our bodies are doing something different. It really is more nuanced than even they know what to do with, which is why we have amazing trichologists, because that is their sole purpose, to figure out scalp health and just to give you your best shot, unless you have a dermatologist specializing in hair loss. Well, that is a different thing, because I am a hairdresser. I'm a cosmetologist for 30 years. It is not my job to diagnose anyone, nor am I trying. I'm just having the conversation so that we can all understand it better. And even hairdressers, as you're trying to tell your clients that you can help them, you can grow their hair, you can turn it around. Well, you don't really know that either. So you want to, know the differences too. So if it's regular menopause, okay, regular loss of estrogen, unregulated, because once you do your HRT, once you get on whatever supplements you need that are going to possibly help you, then that's a whole nother story. But if it's unregulated and you're in your regular menopausal estrogen loss, hair loss, you're going to have shedding, you're going to have a little shedding, you're going to have dryness, all those things I just mentioned. But when it becomes more serious, where you really need to see a medical professional, if you have like gobs of hair coming out, like gobs, and you have circles in your hair, like bald, where it's balding, right? So you have these little patches. That's the word I'm looking for. in your hair, balding, if you got stuff like that going on, it could be a little bit more than menopause, right? Because there are markers that you could check in your labs for all of us, no matter which side of the fence you're on, that will help. A lot of people don't know that they may or may not be deficient in iron. A lot of people don't know that their thyroid might be off. It could be just a vitamin or 2 that'll help you. We've heard mixed reviews now on biotin. I'm not such a fan of biotin like I used to. It used to be the end all be all, but for me now, I don't know, because for some people it works, but would it have worked anyway because of whatever else you've got going on in your body? Whereas other people, you might be deficient in an area where biotin is not going to do a damn thing, right? So that's a whole nother episode, and I don't want to go off on a tangent on that because I want to share with you guys everything I came to share with you today. All right, so you know that I use Virtue Labs products, not just Virtue Labs. That is who I am loyal to because I'm an affiliate and I truly believe in the product. I don't use anything that I don't believe in. I just don't. I don't care. I'd be damned to do that. I'm not going to sell you guys out or myself. You know what still surprises me? How many stylists tell me they've never heard of Virtue Lab products. I found Virtue back in 2017 at a hair show, and I've been hooked ever since. I use it on myself, like this beautiful flourish right here. It's their hair thinning line. There's a full system. There's a shampoo, there's a conditioner, there's a density booster, one that's drug-free, and the other one that has minoxidil in it, which is amazing, you guys. If you haven't tried these products, please do. And it's one of the lines I actually stand behind as a professional. Here's why it's different. Virtue is the only hair care line in the world that uses human-derived keratin called alpha keratin 60 KU. Because it's human derived, your body recognizes it as its own and actually accepts it. We all want products that truly heal and repair hair, right? Not just make it shiny for a day. Virtue does that. It literally fills in the cracks in the damaged areas, strand by strand. So, you guys, trust me, you'll see results after one use, but after 5 washes, honey bunny, the hair will feel like a completely different head of hair. Soft, strong, and actually healthy. So if you're ready to stop masking damage and start repairing it, I know you're ready. Shop Virtue through my link today in the description. Support the show, support your hair. You'll thank me later. Bye. But I brought some products with me today, and I always drop something. And I talked a little bit about these on my last episode as well, but I stand by my man, child. These Virtue products, the Scalp Remedy shampoo, the Scalp Remedy daily conditioner, the leave-in, okay, Scalp Remedy, and this exfoliating mask. If you want to heal your scalp and you don't have these products in your arsenal, I suggest you get those products, and the link is in the bio. And this is not for me to make money, but then at the same time, as hairdressers, I guess we're supposed to not want to make money. And I'm going to have somebody on the show and we're going to talk just about that. But again, I don't want to go off on a tangent. And then the other thing I talked about in the past is my Manta brush that I use to slough off some of the dead skin before I shampoo. That is amazing. It's really soft and flat, it has really short bristles, so it's not going to dig into your scalp, and nor should you dig into your scalp, because if you do, that creates what's going on underneath. That creates inflammation. And inflammation is the worst thing for your scalp, especially if you are going through any type of growth issue or any type of hair trauma. So when you itch, and I talked about this on the last episode, go back and watch it. You want to put a cold compress on wherever it itches, and then you want to put something on to give you some relief so that you don't use these little danglers, these little talons that we all use to dig in and just, oh, that is micro trauma on your scalp, and it is not going to help you at all. So, this product here is Scalp Relief Tea Treatment, and it is by Pharmatree. So you see me squinting. Why don't I just put the glasses on? It is by Farm and Table. Pharmatree. See? See? That's another thing menopause does. Can't see shit without your glasses. Crazy. All right. So you can use that, or you can use the As I Am. I love their products. And they have a dry and itchy scalp care as well, oil treatment. Now, I will caution you before I move on to, actually, oh my gosh, you guys. And I don't know, does menopause give you butterfingers too? Does it take your grip, or is that hairdressing that took my grip? Then the third one I have is Design Essentials, Peppermint and Aloe. Thank you for the big letters, Design Essentials. All right, so those three are the three. But back to the As I Am. Actually, let me circle back to the Design Essentials. This one, you guys, if you got your hair done and oh, I caution you, either one of these, As I Am and the Design Essentials, they're super um, wet, for lack of a better word. Um, Not as wet as water would be, but and one being more wet than the other. So the Design Essentials is more of a wet feel. The As I Am is more of an oily feel. So it's going to make your hair feel really greasy. So I caution you to take a Q-tip, put it on the Q-tip, and I know a Q-tip is cotton. I'm not telling you to dig into your scalp with it and rip your hair out. I'm telling you to part your hair, okay? And if you're going through menopause, your part is wide as shit, so it's not going to be hard. Part your hair and then just literally press it into your scalp. That's all you need to do, because you don't want to overuse this product. It's going to be a hot mess in your hair. So go to the concentrated area, localize it, press into it. It's the best way. If you can do it with your finger without it moving, and dripping down your finger and getting all in areas that it doesn't need to get on, then go for it, girl. But that is what I caution you. So, I hope all of that made sense. We're dealing with normal menopausal symptoms. If it is anything major, or you want to do which I'm going to actually go tomorrow to the doctor to get my labs read, and then we're going to address some of those things that you need to kind of rule out first, right, before you go into your treatment plan. And you want to check for thyroid issues. You want to check for, again, iron deficiencies, low vitamin D. You want to really, if you can, eliminate stress as best you can. And I'm talking high stress. I mean, we have little stress all day long. There's no way. If you're a mom, if you work, if you're married, if you're single, it doesn't matter. You're going to be stressed out about something. I'm talking overly stressed, like that, creating that fight or flight inside of your body that just spikes your cortisol levels and doesn't allow you to calm down. Just try to calm down. And I'm going to do an episode, you guys, it's going to be so fun. I'm going to talk about how cannabis and CBD can help with that. It actually is related, or I've tied them together to helping. It can possibly inadvertently help with hair loss, or at least in my mind. And I'll explain that in a future episode coming soon. However, back to what we're talking about, there's certain medications and, of course, antidepressants, things like that, all are gonna play a part. Surgery, anesthesia, and, my clients hate when I say, "I know you're gonna tell me it's anesthesia." I'm like, "Yeah, but it is the anesthesia." When we have major, major, major shedding after, okay, and we didn't have it before, I think it doesn't take much to figure out that that is or could possibly be the culprit. All right. So, all of those things can accelerate shedding, those things that you need to get checked inside the body. So, we want to just keep that in mind. You want to make sure that there's something called ferritin, it's like Ferretin, I think it's how it's spelled. You wanna check that with your labs, zinc, um, assuming it's just menopause and not anything else, but those are the standards for what we wanna check. Another thing people don't talk about is the emotional piece. You guys, do you know how sad I am when I look at my hairline? It's further back, it's thin. So all your little cute styles that you couldn't that you would go to before that made you feel pretty no longer make you feel pretty. It just sucks. And no one talks about that either, how emotional it is. It's terrible. And I talk about it, I cry about it all day long. I cry about it everywhere, all over whatever platform I'm on. So you guys don't need to hear me whining about it. But I think that piece really does need more conversation, of just how it makes us feel. Makes you feel like shit, honestly. So that is it for my rant for today, you guys. I'm opening the conversation. I want you to DM me. I want you to comment and share with me what you're going through if you're going through this. Because where there is a will, there is a way, and Kim Allison will find that way because there is nothing more disheartening than being a hairdresser and not being able to not only help myself, but help my clients through this. They're asking me questions about what is going on at the top here. I know what's going on a little bit at the top when you get it's kind of like male pattern baldness, what men get. We get it in a milder form sometimes. Some people don't, but that has everything to do with what's going on underneath the scalp. And there are some things like calcification. There are some things, again, like I told you, miniaturization, where the the follicle actually shrinks. Um, but I believe that is all tied to inflammation. So back to my icing and anti-itch so that you don't scratch and create micro trauma, which creates inflammation. Hear me and hear me clearly, you guys. Inflammation is the destroyer of all things. It is the way to disease. It is the way to all things unhealthy. So the more we can reduce inflammation, top, bottom, side, middle, inside, outside, the better off we will be. And this experiment is going to be, so far, it's so much fun because I'm learning so much. And once I get my labs tomorrow, then I can bring more meat to the conversation, more juice, more substance, and we can get through this. I'm sorry I have a headband wig on today. And I did say I was going to kind of just share with you guys real quick before I jump off, but I do put a weaving cap underneath my headband wigs versus a stocking cap where it has no room to breathe whatsoever. I like this one because it has little holes in it. It's like a hairnet, right? And then, a headband wig, it literally is a hat because it is a cap with a headband sewn to it, and the hair is sewn to the cap as well. And you literally put this thing on like a hat. And that means just like you put it on like a hat, you could take it off like a hat. It's not stuck in your hair. You could take it off at night, put it to bed before you go to bed, put it back on the next day, use the holes so that you don't have to pull the comb all the way to your hairline where your hairline is fighting for its already fragile ass life to hang on to those combs and to hold the weight of your headband wig. That is going to destroy your hairline. So do not do that. Use that cap and stick it further in the back where you have more density. Most people have more density toward the back, or as far back as you can put it where it doesn't look stupid and baggy in the back, if that makes sense. All right. But if you have any more questions about that, if you're interested in that, and it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, anybody can wear a headband wig, especially if it just looks sometimes better than your hair that's doing nothing at all because it's in menopause, fight or flight. Okay. All right. That is it for today. I will see you guys on the next episode. And don't forget, listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Watch on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. And I started a Substack, but I'm getting there. But Facebook, have a private Facebook group. Go in there. And that is it for now. Okay, you guys. Welcome to Kim's Chair. This is the first episode, and I will see you next time.